I am the queen of cutting somebody off quickly. This. And my friends literally just asked me the other day, Rhonda asked me, you talk such, and I was like, no. She was like, you think you should? No, I think I should keep living, okay? And what we gonna not do is keep asking me about that person, okay? That's what we gonna not do.
And I never say ride or die. I say ride and live. Who are my ride and live people? That being said, right, I don't want nobody's gonna support me in my bad.
That's right.
Correct. I don't want anybody that's gonna join in me with my heart. Don't do that. Be like, girl, what are you talking about? That's not true. Don't do that. Stop.
Because my big mama can get it whenever she wanted, but I choose not to have it, and therefore I live an abstinent life. Years now. Thank you very much. Quite proud of it. Well, maybe not abstinent.
I always wondered how y'all
maybe
did
celibate.
We go through things in life and they change us, really for the best. But those around us, it may be for the worst, because now we have boundaries in place and they're not used to that. I got my girlfriends here with me today. We're going to talk about I Am Who I Am Today. You know that song by Fantasia? I am who I am today. Everything I went through was necessary for both you and me. But let's go talk about it with them. Welcome back to another episode with Say Something with Cheré. We're back. You know, this is a platform where we have powerful conversations and impactful stories that we share. And today I have my girlfriends here with me where we actually talk about things that made us who we are today. I don't know what you talk about with your girlfriends, but I'm not sitting around gossiping with mine. We talk about things that are going to enlighten and encourage each other and keep us on an all-time high. And so today I want you to help me welcome my girlfriends, Pam. Hey, Pam.
Hi, y'all.
Pam, tell them what you do.
So my name is Pamela Ganny Carter. I am a integrative wellness consultant. So I help people really see their vision, integrate wellness, and then elevate their purpose.
Love it. And then I have Shupier. Hi, Shupier.
Hola.
Tell people what you do.
Oh, many hats.
This is true.
Many hats, but doing well, okay? But I am an author, I'm an actress, I'm a celebrity hairstylist, and I'm also a purse designer. I have a purse called Pink Triangle.
Called what?
Pink Triangle.
Oh, Pink Triangle, yeah,
It's
yeah.
cute, too.
I didn't know you were a hairstylist, too, though.
Yes, I've been doing hair for 28 years.
Okay, I feel a vibe in my spirit. Okay. And then, of course, we have Vassier, the one and only. Hey, Vassier.
Hey, Cheré.
Y'all see Vassier, but tell the new people who you are.
Okay, I am Vassier Serrano, Atlanta's Classic Army Station Classics 1029. I also am an actress, print model. Got a lot of different things going on. Some things I can speak on and some things I cannot. But every day, great spirit, love, and consciousness about the people around me. So the girlfriends are here. We're gonna do our thing today, and I'm glad to be here.
I know that's right. We know all about those NDAs, and you just got to keep it zip on it. But we love that you got things going on. And then last but not least, we have Queen in the building. Hey, Queen.
Hey, sugar.
Tell people what you do, Queen.
Well, I am a host. I'm an MC. And I'm a people manager. So I help manage people's personal, private, and business affairs through the process of organization and the execution of administration. I'm also a pageant queen, the 2024 Miss Royalty International Ambassador.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Come on, Queen. I told y'all, my girls, listen, this is what I'm around. I don't know what you're surrounded by, but you better have your circle that's tight, baby, and got this stuff going on. So y'all, we're going to jump right into this conversation. So this conversation I wanted to have with you all because I listened to It's Necessary by Fantasia quite often, almost daily. And it's a reminder of why I am who I am today. Because one thing about adulting, I'm learning that it's hard to find friends as an adult, right? And don't be in a whole nother state at that. And so it's hard for people to accept who you are today. And when you find that people, that set of people, that said people, you wonder, are you too much sometime? Are they going to get it? Am I coming off too strong? I should think twice. And this has nothing to do with being insecure. It's just the fact that this is a new person receiving a new you. But I am who I am today because of all the things that I've been through. So do you just give them a resume, or how do you all feel when you meet a new person that you're going to befriend? Do you worry about, am I too brash? Am I too hard?
No, I am who I am. And it has taken a while to be sure that I am who I am. So it's going to come out of my pores. is going to exude in everything that I am. When I walk in a room, you're going to know about my royalty. It is what it is. And if it can't be digested or swallowed, then we just may not be for each other at this time. And you're welcome to be an associate. I have a lot going on. You can surely come along.
And I feel like that's who I am. I love people out the gate. I'm just going to come in loving on you. And I hope you get this. I hope you get it. Because if you don't, then it's bad for you if you don't get it, right?
And I think that's what we have. We just, right out the gate, we was like, child, love you. Let's keep it going. You in my life forever.
That's it.
Yeah.
No intimidation, no nothing. I love her big personality. Her and I are both for hosts. Like, we get down with the get down. And literally, same thing with Shupier. Actually, same thing with all of y'all.
Yeah. I am seeing host as well, yes.
Oh, yeah, right. And you just wonder, I do sometimes wonder, like Pam. Pam and I just became friends. I did a wedding expo. I helped a friend out, and I was there to attend and help her and talk to people. And Pam and her fiance came by the table, and we got to talking. Her husband to be out, just talking and chitty-chatting. They went on about their way. Her and I have been friends ever since. And I'll call you my friend now, so I know it. And I hope I'm your friend.
You are, yeah.
But I'm like, oh, this girl might not get me.
And the way I go about it is, because that's the overall consensus is once you become older, it's hard to make friends, especially as women, because women are catty, women are this, women are that. So one thing you'll learn about me, I don't subscribe to a lot of things. I do not subscribe to a lot of things. So when I meet genuine people, I'm going to be me all the time. And if you extend the olive branch to me, I'm going to take that olive branch. And if you, have interest in getting to know, then I'm going to initiate. And that, that's what I do with anyone. If you give me your information, I'm going to contact you. And if you don't respond, that's fine. I'm going to check up on you again.
But you know what? I truly believe what's meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah, that's good too.
And if the energies doesn't align, it's not going to work. And me personally, I don't even push it. I say my cut game.
Hire slow, fire quick.
That's it.
That's Cheré thing.
Yeah,
Cut 'em off.
I'm her at the end of the day, and I'm going to be her. And if people cannot accept that, it's nothing personal. We're going to keep this, and don't look for me.
I
feel like that did come with age for me. In fact, when it comes down to friendship, as you mentioned earlier, I do feel as you get older, it's harder to make friends. So I'm not looking for friends anymore. I'm looking for partnerships, because the me partnership requires intimacy regardless the level. Even when you talk about business, everybody's good in their own particular areas, and they contribute to a bigger vision. And I'm on purpose at this point. I'm on purpose in my life. I'm not looking to people please anymore. I am someone that loves to make sure everybody's okay, but I'm really starting to check for those people who check back to make sure that I am okay now. And I'm okay with I'm not going to say losing those people, because I don't feel as though I ever lose anyone, but I'm okay with separating, because everybody has their right to choose their quality of life, and I choose the quality of people I want to have around me.
But when did you get to that point? Like, what happened for you to get there? Because
well, I mean, of course, life has its own challenges. I learned that early on in life, because coming from an abusive home life into foster care, in foster care specifically, I kind of learned that because you see people with different aspects of life when they're coming into the foster care system. They're coming from different backgrounds, and you have to adjust to know that person. And that's when the reality set in that, man, we are all here on this planet, but we have different experiences. So how do I put myself in position to realize that there is something about me that's a conduit for change in someone else's life? What am I going to receive? What do I see in their situation? And maybe I can lend myself to. And if I can't, remove myself. So I started that early on in my life. But as I've gotten older, I've been refined. The people you meet help you refine. So I think it comes at any age, but more specifically since I've hit 50, I really have gotten my, I'm going to say this real nice. I have this much of those F's to give.
Okay.
About certain
For
things
real.
anymore.
Listen, that part.
I mean, especially if you have come from a background like yourself, myself, we all have stories, right? You don't have time. I don't have time to figure out if you like me or not. I don't have time to figure out if I'm too much. I don't have time for that. If you know who I am and what I bring to the table, and it's going to make us great as women, why are you upset?
Well, that's the thing. They don't know who you are. and what you've been through.
I think they do. It's just people are so used to the BS. BS, they're so used to people mistreating them. They're so used to people lying and giving them yeses.
Yeah.
They cannot receive when I say, no, sis, that don't look right. No, sis, say it
Well,
like
I
this.
think it comes from your definition, though, of friend. Because my definition of friend is the family you get a chance to choose. And so if you're just saying that everyone you meet is your friend, then your value system may be off for the people that you're willing to welcome. So me, I deal with people in percentages, because what you're talking about is getting tired or that it's too much. Well, then if you're going to check on me, like you said, all the time, well, then you're going to probably get my 98, right? But if I'm just seeing you at events and you're only excited to see me there, then you may get my 17. But it's like that, so that, because how can you pour from an empty pitcher?
Yeah, absolutely.
There is no way. Like if you would go to the refrigerator right now and you had your heart set on that little last corner of juice and that juice was gone, then I'm just trying to say,
Girl.
you don't want that. Who wants an empty pitcher? If you are depleted, how then can you pour? And what could you contribute to friendship? The Bible says if you want friends, show yourself friendly. And let's just face it, even in our age, there are still mean girls, you know? So you have to decide if you want to delete that, if you want to try to dig into their history and see what made you so mean, if you would like that, because some people are valuable in that way, and they just need to be nourished and nurtured. But other than that, value you first, because you should be your first friend. That's right.
That statement in itself, I think that if women and if people understand, there's this thing that I use with my clients, which is OTP and ITP, which is your inner circle and your outer circle, and then everybody else. So it's like, even when you're putting people in these circles, your inner circle are the people that they uphold the same values that you have. They move through life the same way that you move. You know, there's things that you can look at their life and tell that, yes, this is something that I want in my life. You know what I mean? But you have people like your family members that, you know, again, just like you said, family are the people that you choose, not necessarily ones that you're born into.
Right.
You know, so some of those family members don't need to be in your inner circle. Don't mean you got to cut them out.
I can be cool and you're nice, everything, but if there's something that I'm not feeling, you're not going to get the access to me. And then I have been labeled like she's mean. And the person they said it to, they was like, not Cheré. That person just was trying to get close to me, and I felt that either you wanted something from me or you were trying to get connected for a reason, and I don't like to connect for those reasons.
Yeah, they trying to drain you.
Absolutely. You don't get access to all of this because I know what I bring to the table. I'm a hard lover. And a big supporter. I think I saw a video on Facebook that you did. It might be old. Where you were talking about needing a friend, a supporter. And you said, I have friends, but I don't have that one person that's like riding with me. And I would have never known that about you.
I don't have, people have these besties that they've had in their lives for 20 years and all of that. But I just feel like in evolution, those 20-year people might not make it to exactly where you are right now.
That's true.
Because like I'm from New Orleans, and there are some people who are very stuck in New Orleans, and that's just what they do is New Orleans. But I have traveled the world and I've been on tour. You know what I'm saying? I've worked with the best. And so my mindset is probably a lot different than who we were when we were 20 years ago type of friends. And so I just wish in these moments, like what you're talking about with NDAs, there are things that I want to talk to with one person about the things I can't talk about with anybody else. Or when I just got off set or when I just came off the stage, I want to say, oh, I felt this way, or I'm just so tired, or baby, I had a good time, or I can't believe they did that. And let me tell you who was in the dressing room or who they was with. Right. But I can't say those things because I must safeguard my environment so that I can keep on getting higher. So I wish that, and I'm not saying that I necessarily don't have that person right at this second, but I wish there was. I think it's going to just be my husband, whoever he is.
Amen. We go, amen, amen, amen.
So I think that's who it will have to be. Because it's not that I don't have good girlfriends, right? It's just that now that we're older, we have lives. We have boyfriends, husbands, children. We've got careers. We all are entrepreneurs. And so how do I fit in? So I don't want to be selfish and just ask for your time like that.
I moved here to Atlanta with $125 in my name in 2010, right? So, and the reason I'm adding on to your story, I just had my daughter, she's graduating. So I just had her a party. So my girlfriends, every time we have watched our children grow up. And it was, a new friend that came in and she was just like, she was shocked that everybody was just in position making this event great. And I told her, I said, I built this. Because anybody that come in the inner circle, if they don't pass that, I don't care if I need you as a makeup artist that day, as a cook, as somebody that's gonna put my shoes on, you're gonna come in and you're gonna be that person 120% with no problem. Because you're gonna make it easier for me to get to the next level of whatever I'm doing in life, right? Baby, it is built, and I promise you, you put them to the test and you let them, because we don't tell people what we need, because some of us don't even like to ask.
That's a lesson in humility.
For real.
A lesson in humility.
Ask, telling people you can't be a mind. Nobody is not a mind reader. Put them to the test. Look, I need you to do this, and this is how I like it. Look, if you tell anybody this is what you're going to get, you can build it. I'm telling you, you can build it.
You're right. And that goes back to Lily May. My friend Lily, she has events, and I went to, we go to Essence Fest and all that. And she's like, I need some help at Essence Fest. Girl, I'm at the door, greeting guests, signing and everything. And then she introduces me, and she's like, this girl got television credits and Shariza. And it's like, but in this moment, it's for you. So I'm here. What you want to do? Sweep the floor?
Listen.
This is what it's about. It's about you right now. So when I heard your video saying that, I was like, I never knew that. Because yes, you have supporters. People are going to show up. But then it's that one person actually get it. I mean, I get it. You get on an all-time high. You're actors. Well, you're acting. When you get them, those callbacks, or just the opportunity to go in front of the casting director in those moments, or get a booking for a host. I don't even advertise that I get booked for hosts, from word of mouth. And so I get that part. And I wanted to get to the part when you actually cried out, because that took a lot for you to say on camera, like, I don't have that in my life. Because now you got to be careful of the wolves coming. They want to be that, pretend to be that person. I got your back, and they really don't. But what got us to the point that we are so careful to let people in? Because we all have talked about the access, having our boundaries, and not dealing with the foes. What happened? So what?
I think that's the overall. It's pain.
I'm telling you,
it's
people on
being
that
disappointed.
Yeah, nobody don't like that feeling.
So I recently had to have a lesson in humility myself. So when you speak about that ride or die, for me, it's my sister. And you might say, oh, y'all sisters, it's supposed to be that way, but that's not the way our life was constructed. We had to build that relationship because there was some dissension that kept us apart for so many years. But my youngest sister, I ain't gonna put her name out there, but my youngest sister is my ride or die. I can tell her everything. She knows everything about me, good, bad, or indifferent. But yes, that's my sister. However, I do have a male best friend, and we've been riding strong for going into 20 years now. We met in Orlando. He has a fantastic, phenomenal project that's coming to Southwest Atlanta. But nonetheless, the beginning of this year, or either late last year, my car had gotten broken into right outside my spot. But the first time, I don't know if the doors must have been unlocked. They got in, they ransacked, they didn't take anything. I mean, they did take some stuff, but they didn't break anything. The second time, my glass was broken, and it was right in my driveway. So I was really frantic. This has never happened to me before. And I called him, and how we put ourselves second in everybody's lives. I called him, and he didn't answer. And because he didn't answer, he didn't respond immediately, I went from what my need was to, oh my gosh, is he okay? Not knowing that in the moment, I needed the help. So some hours went by, and I called, and I reached out to him again, and he hadn't called me back in these are hours. And finally, when the guy, he says, you never said in the message or sent me a text that said that you needed help.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know how to ask for help. So we got to be careful in that space when we talk about having our number one, our A1s, our ride or die. We have to show a bit of humility or live in humility in order to be able to do that. But when you've been hurt, when you have opened your mouth before,
tough.
it's
Okay.
hard to
It's
ask
tough.
anybody for help.
It's okay.
You know, I've been
it's
married
okay.
with
People like us who may be, and you may not want to admit it, but who are type A personalities. All of us. Let's just be honest.
Well,
But what I'm saying is, a lot of times, if you are hurt, if something does happen, you are not about to let that ball roll down the street. You're going to put that ball back together. You're going to dust yourself off. And again, you'll just be your own friend. You're going to just handle your own thing. See how you switch roles? Like, I'm frantic. I need help. But something's happening to him. He might need help. because that's what we do. We're fixers, and we're going to make the thing be a thing. And so sometimes friendship, as it is for ourselves, gets put on a back burner, because I think that we were taught coming up, because there's a new generation now, honey, but I think we were taught coming up that selfishness is some kind of horrible thing. But being about yourself is really good. You need to be about yourself. And, you know, a new term, self-care, has come along, but that wasn't always the case.
That's true.
It was like, oh no, if you don't care about this person, that person, you don't want to heal the world and bring world peace, you selfish.
Yeah. And that's what made me walk into her particular. A lot of people, I walked right into being used and abused because we were taught that being selfish, it ain't about you. You know, it's not about you, it's about them. So I grew up people pleasing so much. I had anxiety attacks. Even when I was getting whooped on by my daughter's father, I was still trying to please everybody else. And then it was the moment when I sat down and said, it wasn't me, it was my daughter at the time, but I had to do for me so that she could have a chance. And so when I woke up and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a leap of faith at 3 years old. Well, she was 3 years old. I just moved straight to Atlanta. I had never been here before or anything, but I knew I had to get her out of that environment. And it was the last hit when I jumped out the car, the last punch when I saw stars. And when I rolled out the car and it was that was the last hit. Those stars woke me up. And it was like, I got to get my daughter somewhere where she doesn't see this. This is not the norm. This is not okay. My mother went through it. My cousins go through it. Girlfriends been through it. This is not okay. I don't want to be hit on. Like, I don't want to be cursed out either. I don't want to be abused at all. No, I don't like it. Even verbal abuse. So when I got here, I had my degrees are in criminal justice. So going into that field made me even harder. It really put up this, I had an S on my chest and little hair and a peach fuzz.
Yes. I know, because I used to work in the jail.
You couldn't tell me nothing. And to this day, I don't take anything, and people say, my family particularly would tell me, like, your delivery is messed up. And people would actually compliment, they thought it was a compliment, but to me, it didn't. They would say, you remind me of Nene Leakes. Everywhere I went, people that were strangers, and I'm like, dang, I don't think that's a compliment. And I love Nene, but what they were saying was like, oh, you crack me up, you remind me of Nene. No, what they were saying is that I was being rude. I was, whatever came up, came out. And it wasn't cute, but it took me a moment to actually see that. And then I began to learn the delivery. You can say it, Cheré, but your delivery is everything. Because my goal is not to hurt the next person that's listening either, because somebody done hurt me all these years. No, I don't care. I wish you would. I dare you. No, I got to have some poise about myself. I still got to show up as a woman, but a matter-of-factly woman. What I say is matter-of-factly. And so I said what I said with my chest. Said it with my chest today. And I had big boobs back then. Was saying it with my chest. Okay? And I've been every word of it. And it is what got me respect. And that's when I also learned that you don't want to be liked. You want to be respected.
You have to temper how you say things.
Yes. So, and I got respect.
And then too, coming from those two different fields, like criminal justice, law enforcement, that is its own community. And it is very aggressive. Then you coming out here to this world where people, hi, rainbows, very sensitive. It's not gonna work. The bridge is not gone.
No, it did. Or with any male-dominated field, because being a road manager, they expect, when they see Queen on the sheet, they want some like butch girl who about to come in and whatever. And so when I come in, I only wear pink shoes. So when I come in with my little frilly pink shoes and my makeup done, but I'm getting my business handled, I'll just say this, things we can't say, but this I can say. There's a certain celeb that I work with, and she was to collect her settlement, as you do before you go on stage. This man promoter gave me $20,000 in ones because I was a girl. But what did I do? Oh, we're going to count it, baby, me and you. We're going to count every dollar. And she not about to go on stage until we get it counted and until it's accurate. Because you tried to play me just now. You really did. But that is what happens sometimes in these male-dominated fields. So we feel like we have to assert ourselves in our male dominance. But we don't. You're going to get this feminine quality. You're going to get all of this.
Up front, matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
With the hair swirling in the wind.
And listen, it is a shame that we got to go through that. But when we look at where we are now, and we'll start with Queen and come back this way, where we are now, you know you had to go through some of that stuff, right? And so I just want to look at the pivotal turning moment that even made you sit there and say, so I'm a woman, you're going to give me these ones to think I'm just going to take it. No, I see what you're doing. What we finna do is this right here. And you from New Orleans, so maybe y'all was born with this. Cause I mean, New Orleans ain't no punk people, okay? Y'all, okay, Katrina didn't do nothing to make y'all stronger. Y'all done migrated and took over the places, but in that moment when we talk about it was necessary, because everybody everybody don't receive me. I'm sure the same for you all.
Same, yeah.
They don't receive me,
okay.
and it's totally fine. I mean, I walk in rooms talk about mean girls before influencers blew up, talking about celebrities.
They come back.
Oh, they always do.
They come back.
Always come back, and the celebrities would look like, how's she getting here? You know, just off the rip, and then they see me connected to the person who's throwing the event, and it's like, oh. So I'm not received by everybody, and that's okay. I never really care anyways. But I always remind myself, like, how did you get here, Cheré? How did you get to not caring? And that is my story all the way. Of course, Atlanta grew me up. But if you could think back to what was actually necessary for you to get to where you are today, what would be that pivotal moment?
You know, I had something else that I was going to say, but I'm going to say this. So in 2014, I got broken in half. I was supposed to walk down the aisle and be married. On the morning of, he said he wasn't ready and he didn't have enough that he wanted to give me. He didn't have the car that he wanted, the house that he wanted, and all those things. As you can see, I'm not a mute person. I talk, but I was quiet and mute.
The morning of the wedding.
The morning I was in the shower, washing my hair, about to head to the venue. And then I got a call. And so my phone was taken from me and everybody was trying to troubleshoot, which I really wish they wouldn't have took my phone, but they did. And I was so destroyed, I shut completely down because I couldn't wrap my head around someone not valuing me when they just told me / showed me by about to get married that there was a high value system here. So I'm deeply logical. So when things don't make sense, I can't compute. And I'm like a computer and I shut down, because I don't understand for sure. And so I was so quiet for 2 weeks. And ironically, as someone who has been through so much, Tamika Raymond, she called me. And she was like, I know what it's like. I'm checking on you. I don't like it. And it caused me to start talking, to open up. I walked many days from the top of exit 25, Sandy Springs, all the way down to where the Whole Foods is. I lost a lot of weight, but I was walking and talking because, again, as I said at the top, I had to get it out because I didn't even have the word. I couldn't believe this. Like, are you kidding me? Because all my people about to show up, you know, my dress was custom made and all the things. It was horribly embarrassing, but I don't know that I even cared about that. I more cared about like, it was too many question marks. And so that revamped my discernment, because I'm sure there were flags. I'm sure there was some things prior to that moment where I could have really grasped like, oh, we're not about to really do this. We're not about to have a life together. It's not about to happen. And I'm so thankful we don't, because he is in the same place, my baby, since 2014.
It was a blessing for you that day.
Oh, big blessing, because it not only heightened my discernment, but it allowed me to understand my self-value.
Amen.
It's sometimes hard to reach that because no matter how many girls I was talking to about their worth as royalty and how to carry themselves as kings and queens through my program, I was talking to the boys, talking to the girls, making sure they understood. But did I understand?
Right.
Did I really understand who the heck I am, and that it's not cocky, it's not arrogant. This runs through your DNA. You are this.
Yeah.
You know how they say you that girl? I am that girl.
I am that girl.
I'm her.
Yes.
I'm her. Like the rooms I've been, I'm her. And there's nobody who says my name and it's like, oh, Queen ill. No, I'd be like, oh, Queen gonna do it. She got it. Because I'm coming into each situation. And this is what I had to evaluate about myself. I came into that partnership, that relationship, that marriage with clean hands and a pure heart. I didn't have any deep motives. I didn't have anything I wanted to do. So I had to pull up my bootstraps and say, oh, well, this ain't all me.
For sure.
This is on him. And it began to craft every relationship for me. Because I'm like, okay, you value me? Oh, you don't? Okay, cool. So that's when I came up with my percentage level. Cool. You don't value me? Got my 15%. But I'm here, but you can't get all of me.
Gotcha.
Because all of me leaves me vulnerable.
Yeah.
A bigger space leaves me more open to you shooting me. But if I come real small, you can't use your artillery properly. So that's how I begin to operate, changing my mindset, because there were things like he would say, oh, you think you're funny, all those people come out for you. I'm funny, I'm Kevin Hart funny, it's not really you. And me with my in-love self, boy, you crazy. Not understanding that I'm internalizing this and I'm melting myself away, diminishing who I am, who I had established myself to be before him, right? To make sure that I fit into his world. I am not nobody's square peg going into a square hole. Never have been. My mama called me queen. So when other people can't get it out their mouths and they Aftan me, Aftan is my name, that's true. But it's queen, I've established that. It is that, and I believe that about every other woman I encounter. Amen. She could be a stripper or she could be a preacher. Still a queen. Still. Your queendom can't be erased. And he even told me queendom ain't no real word. You're just making stuff up. So he was verbally abusive in a soft way. So I didn't take it as someone, because he wasn't screaming at me, but he was taking me down. He wanted for my light to shut off. Not be damn, honey. He wanted it off. Because even when we go out to eat, oh, you queen, take a picture with me. Why did I want to take a picture with you? You know, things like that. And so with that being said, I think that got me to the place. Even as an entrepreneur, I'll just say this real quick. I don't often get paid on time, and I don't often get valued like others, but I do the work to the 1,000th percentile. And so when you owe me funds and I see you in Neiman Marcus,
come on.
Well, I'm like, oh, you didn't value me.
Yep.
And I tell every client, recently I've had to reverse this on myself because now I'm a client, I have a manager, and I tell them, use the Beyonce factor. Now you can replace Beyonce with whomever you want to, but the Beyonce factor is, if Beyonce asks you to be here at 10:15, would you be there?
You're going to be there at 9:45.
If Beyonce asks you to write names at the door at Essence Festival, would you do it? Regardless of who you are, who you categorize yourself as. Because that is your value system. You think very highly. Beyonce don't even know you, Bookie Bear.
And you up there running out there.
But you value her. So I've just learned to make sure that value comes to the forefront of all relationships, partnerships, business moments, family dealings. All relationships cannot float on my water until there is value effectively.
That's a good lesson that you took from that too. Because many women will walk out of that blaming him bitter, blaming him everything. I done this, I done that. But you had to turn around and say, no, I missed some things. And not just in him, friendships, people that came along the way even after him. And and then to turn around and say, what I'm preaching and teaching, I'm not living it. I'm not walking it. So now accountability, which is big. I'm big on accountability. I'm going to look at myself.
And he knew your word. That's why
he knew it.
He knew it. When he left, he knew.
He still knows.
He wasn't deserving of
and
that.
he knew he had me. So he could do whatever he would like. It was like a manipulation control tactic so that he could feel superior.
Got that covered.
Oh, yeah. And that's why you got to have a relationship with God first, because then can't nobody thwart that. If you can resort back to God, then you're going to be Gucci eventually. I'm not saying you won't be hurt. I'm not saying you won't cry. I'm not saying there won't be pain. But I'm just saying if you got that confidence, you're going to be good.
But that's the necessary part. That's the hurt, the pain, the cry. That's the necessary part to get you to who you are now. Yeah, it's the fire. And the work, definitely, I literally just turned down. And I'm going to say it just to say something. Jacqueline Carr's conference. It goes back to getting paid and on your worth. Y'all called me last year, and I did it for free because I know what I bring to the table, and everything ain't about money. That God told me that a long time ago. Use your gifts and talents to make room for you. So there more will come. They called me back again this year. No stipend. This time, no marketing. I told them, they gave me a flyer, though. I said, so I'm supposed to promote her show, but then there would be no promotion as a host. Well, other people don't even get a flyer. I don't care about the flyer, ma'am. So that means you don't value what you're coming to ask for again. But I value me, and I know my worth. I know my price point. And if you don't, then you know what? I'm going to find somebody else to do it. And then it was like all this conversation behind, oh, it wasn't Jacayla's decision. I don't care what decision it was. It's my decision to pass on it because I know my worth. And y'all gonna understand it as well. I love Jacayla, everything about her. But listen, what I'm gonna do is stand up and tell you that as a host, well, I know it's an experience, baby, when you get me on your stage. That's why you came back. Okay, it's an experience. If your folks gonna buy tickets next year, every event depends on your host. Who got that mic and how did they feel while they were at your show? MCs and hosts are very important. Those are ticket sellers right there.
And they orchestrate your moment. Because an MC could kill an event, okay?
Oh, baby.
You could be like, oh, can she get off the stage? Off the stage, baby.
Oh, no, I ain't coming back.
I talked about connecting. You have to have a connection with anything that you do. And if that connection is not there, you're not going to have action and you're not going to have substance behind it.
What was your necessary moment?
You know what? I don't even know how I can verbalize all of this, but I'm going to share something with you. I've shared with probably one or two people privately. I don't mind speaking on this. I just have to figure out how to say this strategically. As you know, I'm recently divorced. A lot of things had come to me during that particular marriage, and it bothers me that I have to attach the flip switch to a person because these are things that I should have seen in advance. But the defining moment for me is when I was going through some of the things when I moved out of my house and I'm unpacking and in my new spot and everything, and I'm going through things and I find paperwork, stuff in black and white that don't line up, that type of stuff. When it starts coming up in black and white, you see things on paper and it's just like, oh, so this person was putting on a facade the whole time. Who was I married to? Sit back and I don't know, what was this? That's So Raven, which used to have those flashbacks that came back there. It was like, oh, this makes sense. And this makes sense. All of this was right in front of my face. And I said, well, where did I fail myself? Trying to please. Trying to be in that moment where I wasn't loving myself enough to know or to realize that love for me did not have to be attached to trauma. Didn't have to be attached to drama in order for me to feel valuable in someone's life. And it was like I sat down and I saw these things and they were just right there in front of me, but I kept, if he'll accept my flaws, I can accept this.
Oh, wow.
And that switch was flipped as I was going through paperwork. I said, it was like turning a page. Oh, no more of this. Oh, no more of this. But the next time my intuition tells me something, I'm going to go off of that. No more of that. So that moment happened to me. I'm 50. I've been divorced, I think, 3 years now. So that at 47 is when the switch really flipped for me. And I realized that I am not valuing myself enough in these situations. Similar to yours, when you have somebody that tries to speak less of your value, right? And they do it in a soft manner.
Yes.
I'm not saying that that's what he did. I kept minimizing my own value and what my importance in someone else's life was. Did I want to be, I didn't want to be a perfect wife because I don't have perfection to give, but I wanted to be somebody different than I was when I met him. When I say somebody different, meaning a better partner, going above and beyond. I don't mind telling anybody, I am not a cook. Future, I am not a cook. I can create a meal now. I can create a meal and it will be fabulous, but I am not cooking it. With that being said, I cooked every day as part of my ministry to my husband because I felt as though that would be something that contributed to being a better Vassier, being a better wife, stepping forward into that woman that I wanted to be, that it was not demonstrated in front of me growing up, right? A Cosby Show. So I wanted to do these things to make myself better, but I wasn't making myself better for myself. There are certain things, and we don't talk about dating a whole lot, but I'm going to get into the relationship realm of the conversation. I realize that as a partner to someone else, because again, I believe in partnership, I don't date outside of purpose. I don't. Because if I'm going to tie my body and my spirit to somebody, we got to have a mission.
in mind. Where are we going with this? Because my big mama can get it whenever she wanted, but I choose not to have it, and therefore I live an abstinent life. Years now. Thank you very much. Quite proud of it. Well, maybe not abstinent.
I always wondered how y'all
Maybe
did
celibate. If there's some assault charges that I put out on myself, I mean,
I always wonder how y'all
let's
did that,
be real. Let's just be real about this thing. We're grown. But the reality is I'm not just going to accept just anyone in my life. I'm not going to be chasing. When I say chasing, I simply meant if I can put up the time and make time for you in my life, I expect you to do the same. I'm not accepting certain things in my life anymore because I value myself more.
And Shupier, what was your necessary moment?
My necessary moment is what a coincidence was 2014. I was in a severe accident.
Car accident?
Yes, car accident. My car, I was 6 inches away from being dead or paralyzed. And I'm the type of person, like, if someone need me, there. But I count how many people came to see me. Yeah. So I broke 7 ribs. So for months, couldn't, like, lay all the way back, like, lay on my back, barely on my side. I had to sit up. And then I was on different medication, like Percocet, muscle relax. It was just a whole bunch. And if you do your research, my ribs broke into 2 by my heart. So I was in severe pain for a long, long time. So going through that and being on that medication kind of messed with my memory. So I noticed it was like when I have conversation, I would try to say certain words. They would be here, but they would not come out of my mouth. And I was so embarrassed because I can't read, I can't say certain stuff, I can't speak a certain way. And I want to be an actress, you know what I'm saying? I've been in it, but I want to continue to do that and just be able to be in the entertainment industry. So I was dealing with that and I was so embarrassed, and it would take me a little longer to finish, write. I'm an author, like just write different things. And I still, to this day, have that issue. But I didn't know Percocet does that much to your body. Because I would literally be like a zombie. Luckily, my mom, she was with me, and I had to be by myself. My mom came up for like 4 days, and I had to go through that. Some of my, close friends would come by and bring stuff, but I was on my own.
Wow.
And that was a pivot moment for me, not to be dependent on men, but to be dependent on God. I always had a relationship since I was a child with the Most High. But it was that moment in my life, I didn't get mad at God. I didn't talk back. I didn't say, why me? I ain't go do nothing. Even my cousin that I don't speak to, God bless her soul, she said, you don't even complain. I say, for what?
Yeah, because it could have been.
What? And that particular day, that's why I tell people, like, the enemy will come and try to take your life if you're not paying attention, because I felt death around me and I said, not right now. And you know what? It wasn't the people that I knew that took care of me. It was the people that I didn't know. And I got so much love. I had so many nurses, people. If you notice when people get in car accidents, not too many people go check up. I had so many people. Even this tall guy with this deep voice was like, I don't know. I thought he was an angel. It's okay. Like, it was so soothing because I was stuck in my car. I had to pull myself out. Didn't even realize that I broke 7 ribs and clear puncture lung, shoulder. I had it going on, baby. But I finished writing my book. And I'm going to tell you another thing. I had just signed on my house and was in a hospital the next day. So people so caught up on materialistic things that you could be dead the next day and not dead until injury. So that moment, it just opened up my life. My eyes. It made me appreciate when people do come and do any little thing. That's why I be like, thank you. I don't care if you buy me a piece of candy. I'm so grateful because you couldn't have been the person that didn't make it to buy it. But that was my
That explains why you're like that. You are so purpose-driven. Like, even your posts can seem deep to somebody else, but you got a reason to praise him. It's why you make him, make everything about him. In your friendship, the way you greet from the day that I met you, it's just so soft and genuine. And it's just like, no, I'm not playing. I'm for real. Like, and it's like, it's okay. You are genuine. You're like this all the time. Like, I want you to know what I'm saying and doing in this moment to you. This is for real. this ain't even no play. And I love that about you. But now hearing your story, I see why. Because
and a lot of people don't even know why I'm that way because they don't know my story.
yeah.
And to them, it's like I'm coming off too strong because they're not used to genuine people.
Yep. Nope.
And I'm like, I got more attack from people because I was being nice and genuine and telling them the truth.
Yeah.
You want something from me? Man, I don't want nothing from you. I go get my own. I wake up every morning, go get my own. I don't want nothing from you.
Things have changed since the pandemic, because y'all know, but pre-pandemic, y'all, we was in the streets. ATL, I think I just come home, change clothes. You was at stage or an event every single day, sometimes 2 or 3 events a day. And I think the pandemic, and it was really, it was fake. Yeah, it was full of fakery. And the pandemic allowed me, at least, to just see people for who they are and literally be selective about whose flyer I want to be on, who event I want to go to, and literally just saying no. Like, that ain't my cup of tea. Before, we was just there.
I did a reel.
Yeah.
People, the ones that always say yes, 2024, you need to say no. Right, it's no.
What was your necessary moment?
Girl, listen, I have been thinking about this. I'm like, because there are probably 2, and I would say the very first one in my story. I don't like to give people power, certain people power, because it wasn't about them. It was about this life and this lesson and the things that you have to learn. It's not about them. At 4 years old, it's like it's yesterday. Anytime I think about it, it's like it was yesterday. My father had remarried, and he had gotten custody of me. And at 4 years old, I'm happy because my father was always who I wanted to be with. And when I walked into his house, I was greeted, of course, not by my father. My father, was the one that brought me to the house. I was greeted by his new partner, new wife, and was told at that moment, as soon as I ran in, she looked down at me and said, "I really don't want you here." And at 4 years old, there was an understanding. It wasn't, my feelings weren't hurt, but it was like my highest self and God, the goddess in me, knew, little girl, this is going to be a life. And in this moment, you are going to have to decide who you're going to be. You're going to have to decide who you're going to be. You're going to have to decide whether you're going to be a victim, you're going to be, casualty to certain things, or whether you're going to understand that people are just people and they're peopling the way they people. You're not going to be able to take anything personally. Nothing. Because in this moment, there's nothing you can do. At 4 years old, you are governed by the people that are supposed to take care of you, the people that are supposed to protect you. And in this moment, one of the people that are supposed to be protecting you has already told you they're not going to. At 4 years old.
And you be knowing at that age too.
There's a knowing. It's like there wasn't, I couldn't conceptualize and couldn't, connect the dot. It's like my spirit knew this, you're going to be something. You're going to be something. It's going to be so much bigger than this situation. And this is where the lesson starts, right here.
So did it make you harden your heart when you begin life and got to grow up and you started seeing that same moment, I don't want you here, in different situations and different people in life? Did it make you a hard person, or what did that do to you?
What it showed me is that don't be where you're not wanted. You know what I mean? And don't take it personal. Don't be where you're not wanted. And just like we've been sitting here talking about valuing yourself and understanding who you are. Sure, as I'm human, so I've questioned certain things throughout my life, but there's always been a knowing and a loving of who I am and knowing who I am to be able to, get to what I think it was 7, 8 years of going through that life with that person who did not mean me any well and showed it. You understand? They showed it. So to be able to get through that and be able to tell that person, I forgive you. I'm not holding any of this because you won't have an effect on my life.
Right.
You won't. But here's the thing is, no matter, even though I said that, I understand that because of how I had to protect myself and because of the things that, I had to ingest at such a young age, yeah, it did have an effect on me, and I had to unlearn those things, and I had to be able to sit in moments where relationships would come and, whatnot. This isn't really you. This is that 4-year-old little girl. This is that 4-year-old little girl that you're trying to protect. So, either you're walking around, you're self-sabotaging, you're doing all these things. Like I went through it all, but still having the knowing and the understanding that, sis, these are your choices and you're doing this. Don't blame it on, this person. You know what I mean? Don't be bitter about what happened. This is life. All these other things they're just pieces to it. They're just pieces. At the end of the day, these are your choices. So decide what you're going to do with what has been given to you.
Well, I want you here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dang sure want you here.
Listen, I appreciate it.
I like your red hair.
Thank you. But no, listen, the woman that I am today, I honestly and truly, that person, I wish them well. And the funny thing about it is I've been able to see and witness the absolute turmoil that God has not been able to, but I've just been able to see it. I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, God really don't like ugly.
It's so funny how it's been people that taught each and every last one of us. It's been people.
I think they've been conduits for change. We don't even just gonna give it to people. They've been conduits for change.
But can I actually say this to the people?
Yeah.
You need those people. You need them. Because some of y'all are complacent. Some of y'all do not have that drive. Some of y'all not self-motivated. So when you have those different situations that come in your life, do not use it as a crutch. Use it as fuel to your car.
Come on.
To get to your destination.
Mm-hmm.
That's all
It takes exposure sometimes. Sometimes that's all people have in their environment. And they just keep seeing the cycles repeat themselves over and over and over again. And I speak to the exposure because me taken out of the home life that I knew as a child, it was just abuse. And then being placed into foster care, I got a chance to be exposed to something that was totally different and let me know that I had a choice in how I wanted my life to go. And sometimes people are in environments where they don't have that exposure. So that's what I call the beauty of having these platforms that are available to anybody at any point, the touch of a button. Now their exposure is up to them. They get to tap into what they need to see, the type of podcast they listen to, the topic, the subject matters they listen to. They have more access now. Now that I can say has been a beautiful thing about social media and YouTube and things like that, because we know the other side. But exposure, opportunity is there. So going back to what you said, Shupier, absolutely. Those are things that happen in your life, but you have the opportunity to expose yourself to something new, and it's at your availability.
People think a lot of things they went through is bad. Actually, you need it to become great.
You need it.
You need it.
That's why I think. So, like I said before, life is not about you, but it requires you. It requires you to show up, go through stuff, be talked about, be dogged, be hurt in different ways, things that you thought you could never heal from. It requires you to show up because God has something greater, as you heard all of us here say. God has something greater for us. Be careful about who you friend, though. Be unapologetic about where you are in life and how you show up the way you do. Just own it and walk in it. Careful about your friendship. Queen sent me a video. I don't even know what she said, and I finally saw it. And it was so powerful because I am the queen of cutting somebody off quickly. And my friends literally just asked me the other day, Rhonda asked me, you talk such, and I was like, no. She was like, you think you should? No, I think I should keep living, okay? And what we gonna not do is keep asking me about that person, okay? That's what we gonna not do. So do it. It's over. Because the video you sent, it was a pastor. He talked about friends, being in a circle with your friends. And he said his friends is moving. Your friends move with you. The moment your friends stop moving with you, now you're in you're caged. They become a cage. So you can't break through. I'm like, that was so powerful because a lot of times people don't know when to move forward.
Yeah.
Just go on.
I felt that in my bones. I was like, oh, I have to share this because that's what I mean about you saying, well, I've known them all their life, so they got to come with me wherever I go. No, not
connections
if they're
become
siphoning
bondage.
from you.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, no. And if they don't move with you,
it's a cage.
how
How many people
Yeah,
are
you got this. Look
Cajun?
at this awesome, beautiful podcast with these wonderful, amazing, smart, talented women that you have here today. I don't know of your friendship circle who is doing that, who would have the courage, who would have the fortitude, all the pom-poms out to support you in that. I think it's so key to select your tribe.
It is.
Tribe is not automatic.
And I say you build that thing.
Yeah, build it.
You
and
better
select
build
your
it. It's
tribe
not
and
automatic.
decide what you
Yeah.
were talking about, your inner court and your outer court. Because some people think that I hear people say, "Oh yeah, me and Queen, we've been knowing each other forever. We close."
Right.
So I just really am of the belief system that once you find, or once you discover, or once you allow your people to be your people, then you have selected a beautiful tribe. And my grandmother, before she passed away, said, I got 5 friends and 3 of them dead, which means you think of tribe as this big, giant village. That tribe might be 5, maybe, might be 3, might be 2. But if they are genuine, if they bout you and bout that life, and I never say ride or die, I say ride and live. Who are my ride and live people? That being said, right, I don't want nobody's going to support me in my bad.
That's right.
I don't want anybody that's going to join in me with my heart. Don't do that. Be like, girl, what are you talking about? That's not you. Don't do that. Stop. You know? Yes. So you need that tribe, and you need people to be able to say, uh-oh, you've been running too much. You need to relax.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Hold on.
Come on.
We have to have that people, because that even is moving with you as well. Because it's like, I've been watching.
Oof. And when the friend, in selecting a friendship, going back to what I said about you get to choose a quality of life that includes the people around you, you just said something, having somebody that will check you and say, hey, you've been running too much. I've been exposed to someone that when I used to do that to them and for them, they automatically got defensive about, ain't nobody gonna stop me from getting my paper. That's not what I would say. Okay, yeah, we can't function.
Girl,
the same.
run on.
We good.
Girl,
Go
run
get your
on.
paper.
Go get it,
get your
girl.
paper.
It's calling you. Go
Yeah.
run on.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are out there.
That's why I tell all the people all the time, y'all go see a therapist.
Oh,
Just
Wait,
go.
now you on another episode.
I'm sorry. I'm just people.
on the next
It's
episode,
okay.
there is something with
Yeah.
you.
On that note, ladies, I appreciate y'all for being so open and honest and sharing, being transparent, because it really is what people look forward to. When I hear and see these or read these comments on YouTube about girlfriends, it's so important. I don't do women empowerment in Atlanta anyway. The events is just, it's a mess. Like, there's no empowerment. You're leaving with nothing. All you got is women up there bragging about the Range Rover or whatever they got. Like, there's no empowerment. So I never used to like women. I didn't want to be friends with them. I just wanted men to be my friends. I did. And God began to test me in that area. It was like, this is what you were called to. You are going to believe in the power of sisterhood. And that is what my challenge has been. And it has been a great learning lesson, and me selecting my friends to come on here. And I know, Shupier, we haven't hung out probably since pre-pandemic. Okay, and
but we gonna need what we
Queen,
left
I
off.
just reconnected. I think I hadn't seen you since the birthday party, Charissa's party.
Yeah.
But I consider you girls friends because the support that you've already showed, not just to me, but the people around you, and we connected for a reason, right? And so I want to bring y'all on. I hope y'all come back and have some more conversation, because there's women out there who need it. And it shocks me when I see the comments, like, they needed this, and people are saying, like, I wish I had friends at this adult age. And so just showing them the power of friendship and what support looks like and helping each other. And that means a lot. So thank y'all for coming on, and thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Y'all, thank you for making it so easy.
This has been great conversation.
Yes, great conversation.
It's been beautiful
Just make it
conversation.
flow, right? Just what we
Yeah.
talk about as friends. Like, girl, I had a breakup, so but why he left? I don't know why he left. And then we get to asking questions like, well, did you see the flags? And you're like, yeah, I saw the flags. I probably didn't pay him no attention. So that's how we grow, like, as each other, and be open and honest and being transparent. Because again, here we're having impactful conversations and sharing life-changing stories on this platform. So before we leave, I just want each female, woman, sister, friend to look into their camera. And I want y'all to give a woman out there who may be struggling with showing up who she is today, and still holding on to her past. I want to encourage her. Let's start with you, Pam.
As we have said here today, these are your choices. You are not a victim. You are not a casualty. Choose wisely. Assess yourself. Assess your surroundings.
My thing is to be honest with yourself. and go through the process of your emotions. Don't just try to throw them under a rug. Don't think you just strong. If you need to cry, cry. If you need someone to talk to, talk to. Just get it out, and so that you can let go, because if not, it will come back to hunt you.
This may sound cliche. Maybe you've heard this before, maybe you haven't. But when you're driving, that windshield, what's ahead of you is far greater than what's in that rearview mirror, letting you know that whatever is in your past, it's small in comparison to what you have in front of you. It's up to you to hold yourself accountable, even for the mistakes that you've made in the past. Make sure that you are moving forward in everything that you do, and take the time to appreciate even the smallest steps. You got this. It doesn't matter who's been in and out of your life. You are in and out of your life, in and out of your spirit, your heart, your mind, and in many cases, because we hold our trauma in our bodies. So take the beautiful person that you are and know that everything you need is right inside of you, and move on that. You are awesome and you got this.
Your trauma is not your definition. Allow your future to be your fruition. And remember, your royalty, act like it.
And do all of that unapologetically. Until the next time, we hope you say something.